head of ecosystem at Manta. Before that, I have worked with Polygon, Mantle Network, Sonic SVM, and yeah. Skip the presentations, by the way. You don't have to read everything because even I'm not going to read it. So, but my basic idea towards like the presentation is three things. One is privacy, one is AI, and one is overall crypto in general, like how you can leverage it. So, next slide. So before going, like what things we are saying and what things are happening right now. So I know a lot of people who were in the space before and they are looking into AI jobs right now. The reason behind that is all fundings from crypto is going to AI. But as a VC or an angel perspective, crypto was much easier because once like you invest $2 million in a project, once they launch the token, you have an easy exit. But in AI, it's not the same thing. So how it works is, in AI, you invest in a company from, let's say, 10 million valuation till it goes to 1 billion, they do a IPO, then only you get the exit. So that is the first and the foremost like thing which I have mentioned over there. So first and the foremost thing is like AI, whenever you build OpenAI wants to do any specific thing into the ecosystem, they have a particular database of you all, what you are doing, if you are thinking your AI agent is your girlfriend, you're chatting, sex chat and stuff. So they're showing everything by the way. So you know whom you're talking to, and also by the way, someone asked me the question that presentation needs an AI agent. So before even presentation is going on, people will know what it is going to be. So I think AI agent is good, but it is still restricted on the legal perspective side. The second part is about Web3 framework. So I still believe the OG Bitcoin people, I'm not sure if someone is from 2017-18, but that time the major idea, like Aditya was there from P6, so he knows that the initial thought of Bitcoin was P2P transfer and they used to hate institutions. They don't like them coming in, they don't like ETFs and stuff, they don't celebrate that because it was a good currency in the dark web, it was used very easily, they don't have any restrictions and they don't care about the money as well. It was more about the service which was provided on that particular side. But I think so that was also a good part which can be bought into AI where with decentralization instead of black box. Next slide. So there are three major like what and how things can be done. The first one is about the proper like the infrastructure which we are running right now. So you all might be using like the cloud codes and stuff. So it usually use a specific tools or a backend where a centralized storage system is used for all the data storage and stuff. So if you have seen Deepin projects initially, so Deepin what used to do is like your personal computers is used as a node where you store all the data with an encryption, which comes to a second point, which you might have heard about privacy or encryption in bad times as well. So I think so the first time when it was introduced was World War II. So Germans used to use privacy and encryption. That time cryptography was not a big thing, but they were still using it to send the locations of particular warships and stuff. So I think this was the technology which has been evolved now with FHE. How it works is you have A plus B is equals to K, let's say, the simple method. So A and B is already encrypted, you can do more transactions or maybe you can analyze more information on top of it and then you can find C without knowing A and B as well. So this is very simple where you give a certain information to your agent but not giving the actual information what it is about. So let's say I give my agent that I have a girlfriend, I don't tell him the name, but still with the help of K he can find out like yeah, it is a true information and that's how it goes ahead. So why I mentioned like we need AI and crypto together. The first thing is about we have a infrastructure. I'm not sure how many of you know about Akash Network or maybe Peak and stuff like the big companies who are providing like infrastructure for deeping. So how it works is where I can be a part of Node. So recently there was a company called Gradient, A16CCSX back. So what they do is your computer becomes a kind of node where you can hold all the data for a particular agent, where you can give information, you can store information, but you don't know which information, and you get the rewards on top of it. So let's say I buy a Claude Code membership of $100. So instead of that $100 going directly to the company, you get a small part of it. So it is not a tokenomics thing, it is actual revenue, whatever is paid for the storage goes back to you. So that is a good place where instead of running on a black box or a centralized cloud system, you just go with the Deepin. Second is agentic wallets, which was discussed before as well, I think so, and everyone knows about it. But I feel agentic crypto and stuff without crypto, like sorry. So if I want to onboard as a fiat currency or INR, USD into an agent wallet, so it's very difficult right now, right? Because first thing, accessibility. Second, a stable currency as well. Because eventually, if let's say your agent is doing, like you are holding INR right now for a year, 6% inflation, and you're generating 6% yield on top of it. Eventually, you are losing money. So, currency which is globally stabilized, or maybe which is a powerful currency right now, which is USD to be honest. So, that is one thing. Third, which is about CKML. So, last year, I think so, when AI was getting hyped, Sahara AI, Aura, all these projects like were doing really good. They were doing something related to ZKML, ZK privacy. So ZK has always been good technology which Vitalik has always been promoting. But apart from that, I think so that can also be one reason why you should and how you should see agents, where you have a knowledge about agent, what they are doing, but instead of going into detail like how they are doing, you just have information which is encrypted with the help of ZK. So these are some of the examples which I have given. So one question which comes to my mind after every AI agent talk is like if it will be replaced by humans. So there are a lot of projects like BitTensor, even WorldCon was doing this, I think so Billions, Humanity Protocol. So every unique human has a kind of data. So my data is different from every one of you. So if there are a lot of agents right now into the ecosystem, they will have somewhat similarities to me. But what if some company needs a centralized data, which they are willing to pay for your data as well. But because of the fragmentation of AI ecosystem, you can't do that really. So there is a good use case over here where you identify personally one human, one data, where you can store this data, you can send this data, and that is a real human data. Second is about the censorship, which is obvious part where I don't want to share my data with every centralized institution, because right now they won't monetize it, but in future they will, because for every Claude code or maybe co-work we pay $20, and out of that $180 is a cost which companies pays from their own pocket, which eventually they will recover definitely, because VC money don't last forever. So that is the time you will be afraid of this. So I've heard about this. Till the time you are not fucked, you don't care about privacy. So it's better before that you think about it and then you go into the privacy ecosystem. The third one is economic alignment. So economic alignment is basically instead of paying to one particular big AWS or maybe cloud system, you pay to different individuals, which brings more value and loyalty towards them. Okay, so this is very simple, which was introduced before this presentation, so I won't go into detail, but it is about the smart contracts which were introduced, like Expo 02, 8004, and stuff where your agents can hold your wallet, they can do all the transactions, including this, and if that is private, so eventually, even if, let's say, I'm doing an arbitrage, and I know there are certain two pools like ETH and BlackETH where there is a arbitrage. But let's say if it is not decentralized, it is open, they don't have any privacy, there will be other 5 bots which will be coming and using the same arbitrage. So I won't get that much like return out of it. So it's better to have a privacy wallet on top of it, which is like encrypted through FHE and then goes ahead where no one knows like what transactions or what kind of yields you are generating on. Next. Okay, so I think so like this is very generic one. You can skip this, but it is more about like why we should go from just AI to crypto AI. First is definitely privacy. Second is like authority and sovereignty. Third will be about systematic economic models, and fourth is about like your own data. So you don't want to give up your data. You don't want to sell it for a lower money. I think so. Like everyone has an amount that they want to sell their data on. So maybe someone for $10, someone will sell it for $100, but that economic alignment can only come with the help of crypto. Next. Okay, so these are 3 like major scopes which I feel. So right now, you know, everyone in the industry is thinking like what will be the next thing which will be coming out. So my personal like thought even before like all this thing happened was about merger and acquisition. So right now, let's say there are 100 companies getting $5 million each as a funding. There will be 2 companies which will be getting $100 each. at valuation. So this is the future where there are three scopes like AI, because AI cannot, every company cannot grow till IPO. So they need a exit liquidity for their VC. So that is the reason why AI is important to Web3. Second is Web3 in general, like crypto, USDT, stable coins, and payments, which is going around. And the third one is about privacy. So if you are doing agentic stuff, if you have a privacy on top of it and decentralization, that is the biggest goal. So yeah, I hope I didn't get you guys bored, but yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.